Hey, this is Ike. So we're back on LeetCode again today. I'm just going to go ahead and do pick one. We'll go for an easy problem. I'll just keep clicking pick one till we get something. All right, so this problem says determine if string halves are alike. So you are given a string s of even length. Split this string into two halves of equal lengths, and let A be the first half and B be the second half. So two strings are alike if they have the same number of vowels. Okay. And notice that S contains uppercase and lowercase letters. And so return true if A and B are alike, otherwise return false. So let's look at some examples. So the input is S equals book. Uh, Output will be true because BO, so the two halves will be BO and then OK. Here, let me zoom in some more actually. So the first half will be BO, then the second half will be OK. And so there's just one vowel in O, and there's just one vowel in BO, and then one vowel in OK. So each half has the same number of vowels. I wonder what happens if the string isn't of even length though. Oh, okay. You're given a string s of even length. Perfect. So first, I think the first thing we want to do is just to successfully split the string in half. So let's try to do, let's say split string in half. Um, and we can say, let's do, so we know the length of the string, so we can just say uh, first, we can just say part one is equal to s, and then it's going to be everything up until the halfway point. So that should be the length of s divided by 2. And we can kind of verify that. Let's just say our string is the one in uh, book. So then we want to technically go up to, because this is 0, these are just putting numbers at the corresponding positions. This is 0, 1, 2, 3. So we technically want to end because when we use splicing like this, we want to put in the location one past. We want to put in the number of one past what we're looking for. So if we just want BO, that means that we need to go from 0 to 3, or sorry, 0 to 2. So then this should be good because the length of S is 4 in this case. 4 divided by 2 is 2. And we're going from 0 to 2. So that means we should just get BO. So then let's try for part 2. So then part 2 should be equal to S, and we'll splice it. Since we had this as the ending point for part 1, uh, the starting point is inclusive, unlike the ending point. So we should just be able to say length of S divided by 2 to the end. And let's just go ahead and print part 1 and part 2 and run it. Oh, whoops. Wait, oh wow. I was actually I didn't change the language to Python. So let's do Python 3. I copied the code from before, so I'll just paste it in and move this back. All right, so now in the proper language, let's click run code. So slice indices must be integers or none. So I'm guessing what happened is when I did len of s divided by 2, that converted it to a float. So I should just be able to cast it back here. Okay, so we didn't output anything, but we can see that in the standard output, we got BO and then OK. So that means that we successfully split the string into two parts. So let's now try to go on to the next portion, which should be, let's try to count the number of vowels in each of the parts. So we might as well make another function and just call it count vowels, since we're gonna have to do it for both parts of the string. So we'll just say def count vowels, and we want to take in a string. We'll have to put self in here, and we'll take in a string s, and okay. So we know that the vowels are A, E, I, O, U. So let's just say vowels. This can actually be a constant too, so we don't have to keep reevaluating it. So we'll say vowels is just going to be equal to, I'll say vowels is going to be equal to A, E, I, O, U. I'm just going to keep it lowercase, and we'll see why in a second. So I think we can just run through the string s and then see if its letters appear in vowels. So we'll just say like count equals 0, and we'll say for character, we'll just say for C in S, uh, if C is in if C is in vowels, then count plus equals 1. And hopefully this works. I'm not sure if we need to put self dot in front of vowels when we use it, but that's something we'll just have to try it out. So let's delete the print statement, and let's instead print count vowels. Let's do count vowels part 1. So that's a problem. Since it's a class method, we should put self dot count vowels. Yeah, so I think this needs a self in front of it as well. Because we did vowels equals A, I, O, U, and then we want to say if C in self dot vowels. So it printed out none, and that's because I did not return count. Okay, so our output was 1, and so we just did this for part 1, and BO does have a single vowel, so that looks good. We can also do the same thing for part 2, just to see what we get. We should get 1 and then 1 after we run this. Okay, cool. So we see input was book, and then standard output is 1, and then 1. And so I guess the final part of this problem should be we need to return true or false, whether they have the same number of values. So I think we can just say return self dot count vowels part 1 equal to self dot count vowels part 2. And let's run it. Cool, yeah. So we just evaluated there's a Boolean expression here to get whether the counts are the same for part 1 and part 2. But I think there's still something we need to do. So if we change, let's take out these print statements here for now. Actually, no, let's leave them in and first do this test case. What if we had did something like B capital O? Okay. Okay, wrong answer. So it seems as though part 1 didn't successfully count the uppercase O. And so let's see. Yeah, so part 1 didn't successfully count the uppercase O. So this should be something that we can fix here. And we might as well fix it right in the count vowels function. Um, so I guess what we can do is probably just convert this string to be lowercase, since vowels are all lowercase. So let's see. Or actually, I guess actually a better way would probably just be to include the uppercase vowels in the constant string, because if we, it'll probably waste. It's kind of a nitpick, but it'll be faster to just have a constant with all of the vowels lowercase and uppercase, as opposed to converting the string to all lowercase each time we call this function, because that'll actually copy the string every time, since strings are immutable. So actually, yeah, I think it'll probably be better to fix it this way. So let's try this again. So our input is B capital O, okay, and let's run it. All right, cool. So it looks like the counts were correct and the output was correct. Let's see if there's anything that we could be missing. What about, so we know the string is of even length. Um, and so these should work even if our string is of length. Can we get a string of length 0 here though? Just kind of want to see. Okay, constraints. 2 is less than or equal to s dot length. It's less than or equal to 1,000. Okay, so we won't get anything that's equal to 0. All right, so I think we're good. I'm just going to take out I'll just comment out the print statements, and we can go ahead and click submit. All right, looks like it worked. So we just solved determine if string halves are alike. If you found this video useful, please leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to see any other programming content, just let me know in the comments down below. Thanks.